Tonight, Golden Knights, they lose, unfortunately, to the Washington Capitals by a score of 3-2. You mentioned a game of adjustments, and we could talk about that a little bit, but really, it didn't seem like it was going to be this way in the first 10 minutes because Vegas looked like what we've come to expect of this team in this building. They get the early goal from James Neal, and they really looked to be in complete control of the game early on, and then it was a big hit on Kuznetsov by Brayden McNabb. Kuznetsov went off the ice holding his arm. It appeared maybe a broken arm, maybe a collarbone, can't speculate, but clearly an injury to the upper body. But the whole game changed at that moment, I think.
Yeah, it was interesting. The Golden Knights came out. They were pretty faster in the neutral zone. They were able to get pucks, carry pucks in, and, they carried play for the first 12 minutes or so and got the early lead. Everything looked like it was status quo for the Golden Knights. They were getting some dangerous looks. They were getting some dangerous chances. And then the Kuznetsov hit happens. Kuznetsov goes down, and we've seen this so many times with the Golden Knights. We saw it when they went through 4 goalies at the beginning of the season. When players go down, other guys have a tendency of stepping up, and in this case, it was Lars Eller. He was absolutely lights out for the Washington Capitals since the Kuznetsov injury. And to be honest with you, after that play, the Washington Capitals were the better team. They shut everything down in the neutral zone, and the minute they got the lead, Vegas really wasn't able to do anything through the neutral zone, attack with speed, get to the center of the ice. And it was kind of the same thing from Vegas. They weren't able to protect the middle of the ice. You look at the Lars Eller goal, there's two seam passes through the slot, successive passes. One going one way, one coming right back the other way. Marc-Andre Fleury overcommits. But really, it's on his team defense in his own zone. I mean, if you can't get a stick on those passes, you're really hanging your goalie out to dry. Up until this point, and you don't lose, you don't get to the Stanley Cup Finals losing only 3 games without bounces going your way. And this is adversity. It's just one of those things that you've got to play through, you've got to fight through. And it's much the same as the Washington Capitals having to get through and play through the Ryan Reeves cross-check right to John Carlson that resulted in a game-tying goal in game number 1 and turning the tide in that game. So, you don't get to this point without having to face some adversity, and the Vegas Golden Knights are facing that, and they've got to go to Washington on the road with a split in the series and try to find a way to win a game or 2 in Washington.
Very similar situation to what they faced when they played San Jose here 2 rounds ago, because they win game 1, they blow San Jose out of the water in that game, 7-0 final. Game 2 here, they score early, score 2 goals, they take a 2-0 lead. They end up giving up the lead, tying it up late on a Nate Schmidt goal. They go to overtime, probably should have won the game in overtime on a goal that was called back for interference, but nonetheless, they lose that game. They go to San Jose. They fall behind 1-0 in that game, and then they come back and they win that game. They end up winning the series. So it's not dire straits for the Vegas Golden Knights because they've been in this situation before, and they're going to head to Washington. I think they're going to have an opportunity. I do think they'll split in Washington. That's my prediction. But you talk about the bounces, and it looked like late in the game Alex Tuch was going to have an opportunity to tie this game up and send it into overtime. But you talk about those bounces, puck luck just wasn't there for him. Braden Holtby, like a kid in Little League who closes his eyes and sticks the bat out, makes an unbelievable save and denies Alex Tuch, and that really was the game, I think, for Vegas.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more than that. I think Braden Holtby exhibited a ton of strength to not allow that puck to trickle through. I mean, he saved it with his paddle. That's not an easy thing to do. Now, Alex Tuch did everything right. He got all of it. He elevated the puck. It just didn't get up fast enough, and sometimes those are the things that happen. But you look at it, it was a weird carom off the boards that kind of jumped right out in front of Holtby and led to that chance. So, great save, hockey gods, whatever you want to chalk it up to. Bounces happen in this game. You're on ice with a puck, and 10 guys are out there with sticks. I mean, it just weird things happen, but it didn't go the Vegas Golden Knights' way, and it's not going to go their way every single night.
I'm guessing the Capitals not complaining about the ice tonight like they did in Game 1. That's going to do it for us. Vegas Golden Knights lose tonight to Washington 3-2. We'll talk to you Saturday from D.C., where Game 3 will take place, and hopefully Vegas gets back to their winning ways. Talk to you then.